So I just completed my COVID test, which was the last step, the last clearance, test before my ACDF surgery on Wednesday. So today is Monday, August 8th, 2022. I'm scheduled for surgery in 2 days on Wednesday. 4-level ACDF. If you're not familiar with what ACDF is, then you shouldn't be watching this video. This is for people that are going through this process. I'm documenting this for me, and maybe to hopefully to help, depending on how it turns out, right? To help others in the future that are going through this. I'm in traffic here. I'm leaving the city of Philadelphia now, and backed up traffic on I-76 West, as usual. So the COVID test, by the way, the first time I've had the nasal swab test here, or anywhere, and I wasn't really worried about it. I'm kind of numb to these procedures at this point, all these medical procedures. 6 months ago, I would have been on the edge of my seat, freaked out for a week, worried that I was going to get jabbed up into my brain with a nasal swab. But that was nothing, man. The guy he said to me before he stuck the swab in that he promised he would go easy on me. And I thought, oh, thank you. As I said thank you, I thought, okay, that's code for he's really going to stick it to me. But no, it was fine. It was not uncomfortable at all, really. I mean, a little weird, but it was fine. So hopefully I pass. Man, if I fail that and this surgery gets pushed back, I'm going to be really, really upset. So this video, I really want to just kind of talk about briefly what has led up to this. I won't get into too much detail because it's been a saga, man. Back about 6 months ago, I woke up to some severe pain in my right scapula, upper back. It was radiating down the shoulder, no neck pain at that time, the shoulder, and eventually down the arm. This was like early February, I'm guessing, maybe mid-February. I was up until this past spring, I was extremely active. Yoga classes multiple times per week at my gym. And in the beginning of the year, I started playing pickleball. I used to do other workouts, but then I got really hooked on pickleball, as it seems every aging American is these days. And about a month and a half into playing, all of a sudden I started getting, really a sore right side, upper right side. It was very familiar to me for the past 20 years. About once a year, I would get a flare-up on this same pain. And it was diagnosed 20 years ago as a pinched nerve in my neck. No MRI, I don't even think there was an X-ray back then. It was just, I went to a neurologist and he said, yep, it's a pinched nerve, nothing you can or should do about it. But lift weights, he told me. This guy was a clown. But in hindsight, that was probably the right thing to do. Probably the right diagnosis. And I went about my way. And once a year it would flare up, and 1 to 2 weeks later, it'd be very sore. 1 to 2 weeks later, not debilitatingly sore, but it would be sore. A couple weeks later, it would go away, and I'd go about my life. About 11 years ago, I really got into shape. I became lost a lot of weight, became a workout warrior, exercise fiend, blah, blah, blah. And I really hadn't, I think because my neck and upper back was strengthened so much more, I really hadn't had these flare-ups. And so maybe once in the last 10 years. So when this happened in the beginning of the year, I was a little concerned, but just thought, you know what, I'm using new muscles. And I haven't been lifting weights as much because I was playing pickleball, doing yoga. So I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, it'll go away in a couple weeks. I kept playing, kept pushing through, which I guess was a mistake, but it probably is for the best, because if I would have if I would have rested it, it would have probably gone away, I'm sure. But then I would have delayed this diagnosis. So long story not as long. Eventually it didn't get better. I went to a chiropractor. Big mistake. I knew better, but I won't get into why I went to a chiropractor. It was highly recommended to me, and my insurance covered it. It was like $5 a visit, so I went to this clown, and fortunately he only cracked my neck a couple of times. But anyway, that just made it worse. And so then I went to a sports medicine doctor who said, it's definitely a pinched nerve. You have radiculopathy down the right arm. And the next step is an epidural shot or steroid on the nerve itself. I skipped something there. She prescribed prednisone, oral steroid. That didn't help. I mean, it alleviated the pain for a few days, and then it was right back as soon as the steroid stopped. That cycle was done. So she said, okay, I think, 90% of the time, if we do the epidural, you'll be good. But to do that, you got to get an MRI. So I got an MRI. That was an ordeal because I'm highly claustrophobic. Finally got an MRI, and 2 days later I get a call on a Wednesday night. It just gotten, by then the pain had mostly subsided. It was still pretty bad. Got a call saying that I would need to undergo emergency cervical spine surgery, that it was one of the worst MRIs she had ever seen. My spinal cord is compressed, and I need to, among other things, and then I need to get to a spine surgeon as soon as possible for a consult, and that they would almost certainly be admitting me for emergency surgery. So she advised that she would call first thing in the morning to get me an appointment, because she, and she was right. It's hard to get in to see these guys, at least the good ones. And so she figured I'd have a better chance of getting an appointment with a surgeon if she made the call. And in the meantime, I needed to get my ducks in a row as far as short-term disability with my employer and all that business. So that was a shock, man. I mean, in fact, during that call, she said, you need to get to, I really think you should just go to an emergency room. And I said, I'm not doing that. I had literally just come from a yoga class. And those classes, by the way, at that point, were still making it feel better, at least while I was doing the class and for, the next day afterwards. So I thought, I'm not going to an emergency room, which was the right call, by the way. It's doctors, man. So anyway, I get in. It took like 3 more days. I finally get in to a surgeon, and nice guy. They diagnosed me correctly. You have severely compressed spine, cervical spine at C3-C4. It's also compressed at 5-6. And you've got a pinched nerve at 6-7, which we think is causing the radiculopathy. But that's pain. That's something that could have been managed without surgery. But I have myelopathy, which is a number of tests, physical tests they run, and basically my spinal cord is compressed very severely. It's scarred. It's been compressed for a long time, and so there's some scarring occurring. And so he said you don't need to get surgery like today or tomorrow, but within months, not years. He then recommended a surgery, which I'll go in another video, into all that in another video. So I felt very comfortable with this surgeon, but I knew, hey, it's a spine surgery, man. I'm getting a second opinion, but I felt comfortable with it, and so I'll end it at that. I'm 2 days from surgery, not with that surgeon. Another video will discuss that. And I feel pretty good. The pain now is maybe a 1 or 2. It's not a problem. And I am on the edge of my seat to make sure I'm not failing this COVID test. But aside from that, honestly, I'm looking forward to getting the surgery behind me, just because I'm tired of this. Has consumed my life for 6 months, and I'm tired of it. I want to be real clear to you all that are watching this. If you're looking at this video and you're saying, this guy seems fine, why is he getting a surgery? Trust me when I say I would absolutely not be getting this surgery if I wasn't told by multiple spine surgeons. 2 of them are some of the tops in the world. I'll talk about that in another video, as I said, who I consulted with. And they all agreed that you need to get this done, that this will not end well for you. That was the actual quote from the one. He said, this is not going to end well for you if you don't get this taken care of. If you are just dealing with a pinched nerve or some disc degeneration or even herniations, unless that herniation is causing a compression of your spinal cord, then my opinion, hey, consult with your surgeon, but my opinion, you need to suck it up, buttercup. Get in the gym, lose some weight, whatever you need to do, but stay away from this medical business and just deal with it and not get surgery. But hey, consult with your surgeon, but use your brain, okay? The internet is littered with stories of people who are stuck in the vortex of the medical system, and they don't seem to ever be getting out, no matter what interventions they have. So that's it for this video. Hopefully it comes out okay. Sorry for all the jitteriness. I'm driving on the highway home from my COVID test, 2 days from surgery. So I'll post more videos.